Hey, it's your boy, A Tinge of Cringe here, investigating your favorite TV shows. I did not upload any videos yesterday because I was busy having one of the best days of my life. But I have returned today, sound and safe, safe and sound. I'm alive, even though yesterday was so good I could have died. I'm going to do a review on 13 Reasons Why. Season 4. Yes! Yeah! Yeah! So, I really didn't want to watch 13 Reasons. I really don't want to. I really didn't. After I finished season 2, I was like, you know what? Just fuck it. I'm not even bothered to watch it anymore. It has gotten to a point where the stories are unbelievable, unrealistic. The dialogues are cringy, cheesy. The characters are underdeveloped. They're all half-assed, and the plot points are not interesting. But guess what? The show got worse. So you know what? Screw it. Let's see how bad it's gonna get. So we enter season 3, and it's just as boring. And they try to redeem Bryce, the rapist. They trying to redeem a rapist. What the fuck are they doing? What are the writers thinking? So, anyways, they try to redeem the rapist, also killed him, and then try to redeem him. And the whole season is like a murder mystery, except nothing interesting happens. And then the season is over. And there's been this whole debate in the internet, like, why would you redeem a rapist? So the writers responded to that by redeeming another rapist in season 4. They tried to redeem Monty.
That was the wrong choice.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Anyways, before I talk about episode by episode, let's talk about the characters first. Before I actually go in, I would like to say that this is the first TV show review where I didn't write a script and print it out and then read it. Because I just don't want to. I just don't want to waste the time to actually put my thought like in a very detailed way into this because I know it's pointless. It's useless. It's meaningless. So I just wrote down some notes here and I'm just gonna talk about them. So let's talk about the characters first. Main character, Clay Jensen, played by Dylan Minnette. Your boy, Clay Jensen. It's my boy, Clay. So, in this season, he basically goes crazy. Crazy town. And he would see ghosts, like Ghost Bryce or Ghost Monty. And first of all, if the story is trying to show that he's gone insane, you know, he's hallucinating, he's having schizophrenia. This is a very, very, very unrealistic depiction of schizophrenia. And at the end of the season, Clay is like, psych, they're not ghosts. I actually know they're fake. So throughout the entire season, on every single episode, there would be these scenes where Clay would see a therapist, and the therapist did nothing in the entire season. He did nothing but sit down in a room, and then that's it. And he's like Golem. He's like, well, what are your thoughts lately? Are you having any nightmares? We have Alex. Alex's character, it's so poorly written. First of all, his acting is already not so good. I mean, none of the actors in this season actually did a great job. I mean, some of them did okay, not necessarily all that great, but some of the actors actually did okay. But still, the script is so bad, it just looks like they don't give a shit anymore. So anyways, Alex's character. In season 3, minor spoiler alert, but Alex is revealed to be a murderer. He killed Bryce. So guess what? In the final season, the final, ultimate story arc for the murderer of the last season is figuring out his own sexual orientation. The whole season. Nothing happened to him other than he's on a rotation of just trying out every single boy around him. He kissed Zach. He kissed what's the guy? Winston, and then at the end he went for Charlie. And then we have Charlie, who's I guess a new character, even though he already appeared in season 3. But he appears in this season very, very constantly, and every time he comes up, he would be like, "Hey, what wanna eat some cookies? Wanna eat some cookies?" Wow, that's continuity. Just yes, 1 point for the writers. And he's such a flat and bland character. He always acts very upright, like, I actually believe that we need to stand up for our friends and help them, It's so bad. And then we have Winston, who's supposed to be the antagonist of the season, like one of the antagonists. And Winston is supposed to be, someone not so athletic, but still like evil, up to evil deeds, trying to figure out who killed Bryce and framed Monty because he loved Monty. So he would be like there. There's one scene, and I don't know if it's episode 1 or episode 2, but he was talking to Ani, and he was like, "Why lie? What good does it do?" He's like a downgraded Joker.
Why lie to me? What good does that do?
It's so bad. And then we have another antagonist called Diego, and he's like one of the jocks, in the football team. Oh, a jock, a bully, And he's so bland. He really didn't do anything at all, actually. This season is still somehow even worse than all 3 of its previous seasons. First of all, what I like about the season is that it's not as boring as the first 3 seasons. There are episodes that are very action-packed, very ridiculous, just over the top, just pumping adrenaline, very exciting indeed. And then of course we have the episodes that are just bland, boring, like the first 2 episodes, Winter Break and College Tour. Again, we have Clay going crazy. Like he would be walking on his own in the night, and then he would see like a ghost Monty, and ghost Monty's gonna be like, "Haha, you're a loser, aren't you?" And then Clay would be like, no, why are you alive?" And then at the end, Clay's like, "Actually, I know that I'm not seeing ghosts. I'm just imagining them all along. Yay." And then we have episode 2, and nothing happens. The entire episode is about College Tour, because the episode title is called College Tour. Get it? So we have a college tour, and Zach snuck into one of the houses, like dorms or something, and then Clay got crazy and followed this ghost Bryce, and he thought a ghost Bryce would rape a girl who's sleeping. So he went into this bedroom with a girl sleeping in it, and the girl's boyfriend saw him, and the girl's boyfriend was like, "Oh, this kid is gonna rape my girlfriend." And then he just freaked out, and that scene was so goddamn funny. And he was just freaking out, and he was like, let me go, let me go, let me go, let me go, let me go. Let me go, 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 let me go. And then we have episode 3, Valentine's Day, and the series is finally picking its pace. It's really terrible. It's entertaining. So given that it's Valentine's Day, they had to, for some reason, they have this Valentine's dance. I never studied in America. I don't know there are traditions like this. Anyways, throughout the entire episode, and this thing wasn't even a thing in episode 2. It's just a thing only in episode 3, where Clay would receive these mysterious phone calls from this guy with a voice changer saying, "Okay, now, if you don't, I have evidence that Monty is actually innocent. So if you don't do this in the middle of a public and embarrass yourself, we're going to release the evidence, and we're going to tell everyone in the world." And Clay is like, what should I do? What should I do? Like, just ignore it. Just ignore it. Even if the person has evidence, he would seem like a total idiot. These mysterious phone calls, they they are written in a way it feels like they're being set up to be something epic, revealing. Like it sort of, dives deeper into a network of secrets and lies and character relationships. But no, turns out these phone calls, they're just a prank, bro. They're just a prank. Diego has been pranking Clay and the entire football team for some reason. It was such an elaborate prank because not only did they prank call Clay and threaten Clay, but they all set up like fake blood in the bathroom. They bought a burner phone just to distract Clay. They bought a dummy and put this dummy in the middle of a football field and scare Clay. Like it's such an elaborate prank. What were they thinking? And they definitely wasn't really doing this to because they thought Clay killed Bryce. They were just doing it as a little prank. I really don't know what happened there. But what really boggles me is the ending of the episode when there was a prop knife. And even though it was a prop knife, Clay was like, okay, you know what's the best thing I can do right now? You know what's the smartest thing I can do right now? I'm just gonna grab that knife while I have fake blood on my shirt and walk into the dance as if I killed somebody. Why did you have to hold the knife? You don't have to hold the knife. If there is a weapon on the ground, you don't pick it up as if it's yours, because it's not. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? It's so stupid and it's so frustrating. But the series gets even better with episode 4, Senior Camping Trip, which may be, in my opinion, the funniest episode of the entire season, where this episode is like a bottle episode where everyone just goes to this senior camping trip. They are sent into somewhere in the middle of a forest on top of a mountain, and I don't know why, but for the entirety of the camping trip, there were only 2 adults supervising the kids. There were only 2 adults supervising the students. Only 2. And neither of the 2 adults are teachers or principals of the school. They have nothing to do with school. They're just there for no reason. Anyways, a lot of shit happened in that camping trip, and boy are they entertaining. First of all, we have Alex still trying to figure out if he's actually gay or bisexual or not. So he went onto a boat with Zach. I don't even know how did they find a boat, but they somehow found a boat. They found a lake. They decided to row the boat to the middle of the lake. Zach somehow smuggled some alcohol, and he was drunk. And at one point, they were on the boat, they stood up, and they were like, fuck it all, screw the world. And then Alex just slipped and fell into the water. and he almost like hit the oar of the boat when he fell. It's hilarious. But you know what's even more hilarious? It's how Justin and Clay, they were in the trip as well, and suddenly Justin got kidnapped, and then Clay's like, Justin, and then Clay went back, and then Clay got kidnapped, and then immediately in the next scene, Justin got unkidnapped. He's fine, and then Clay fell into a pit, like a well of sorts. It's really, really confusing, really, really strange. And the insanity does not stop there, quite literally, because apparently Clay is not the only person who sees Ghost Bryce and Ghost Monty. Actually, a lot of people see them, like Jessica, for example. Jessica was roaming around the forest on her own, and then she saw Ghost Bryce, and then like insects like crawled out of his face, and Jessica was like, ah, and it was that scene. It doesn't mean anything. What are the writers trying to say? What are the writers trying to say? I really don't know. I guess the writers are trying to say that, oh, Jessica felt guilty, and it's supposed to be some sort of way to redeem her, but no, it's not working. It just looks like a really bad ripoff of that one scene in Hereditary, or many other horror movie scenes where bugs come out of a person's mouth.
I fucking hate camping.
Anyways, Episode 5 is called House Party, and in this episode they throw a party in a house party. And for the entirety of the episode, they have this thing, this paranoia, this storyline where the characters are like, wait, why do my parents know who am I calling and who am I texting? Why do my parents know where did I go? And so they're like, wow, our phones are bugged or something. It has to be. We're always under surveillance or something. And it sort of creates a paranoia, I guess. It's like, again, it's like Mr. Robot, like, they have to be watching me. They have to be watching me. Let's destroy all the security cameras and speak in a code. And it's a very lame and unoriginal idea that that's just not properly explored at all. Again, it feels ridiculous. And the fact that it's not like, oh, paranoia, just paranoia. The fact that it's actually real, and the teachers and the parents, they have secret meetings in the night. They go back to the school, they have secret meetings, and the teachers and the security people were like, oh, actually, thanks to this person, this tech guy, now we have apps on all of our children's phone and we can track all of them down all the time. It's so over the top and cheesy and unbelievable. And the fact that the teachers can go to the school at night as if there weren't going to be any students in the school at night is just funny, because I don't know about other schools, but in my school, especially for people who are in Form 5 and Form 6, we stay until nighttime because we have too much to learn, we have too much to study. The ending of episode 5 is fucking hilarious. I don't want to say what's the ending. I guess I just have to show you what's the ending.
You're not a virgin anymore. You're not a virgin anymore! I have had sex!
Episode 6 is called Thursday, and for the entirety of the episode there is a huge lockdown, a code red lockdown, because I guess there's a school shooter and everyone panicked, and for the entire episode everyone got trapped in their own classrooms and stuff. Here's the funny thing. When this code red, this signal happened, everyone was having a break. In fact, for the entirety of the whole series, I've seen, but when the characters are in school, for 95% of the time, they were not in a class. So what are they going to school for if they're not in a class? What are they going to school for? They were hanging out in the library, chatting out loud in the library. They're in some sort of rest room. They're in the photo room. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They have no classes. They're so free. Anyways, this thing happens and everyone panicked and got scared, and then they heard gunshots, and it was actually I'll say this: if this episode didn't end the way it ended, it would have been my favorite episode of the whole season, because legitimately it is a good story idea. We see characters trying to deal with fear, being afraid, calling their parents, saying I love you, and sort of panicking, not knowing what to do. It's actually really good until until halfway through the episode, when you realize that no one tried to do anything. Everybody just sat there and did nothing. And we have the ending of the episode when it's revealed that the whole thing is just a drill, it's just a joke. And then Clay freaked out again and grabbed a gun from a cop and held a gun and threatened them. They did an anti-school shooting drill, and immediately after the drill, a student carried a gun. The exact thing they tried to prevent happened immediately. Genius. Episode 7 is called College Interview, and Clay was in hospital and he escaped by telling the doctors he shat the bed. And then we have the college interviews, and at this point everyone's already sure that the studio for 13 Reasons Why doesn't give a shit anymore because they can't afford any other set other than Clay's place, the school, and the fucking cafe. So the college interviews, I don't know how is it done in other countries, but there were college interviews taking place in a stupid cafe, and some of them take place in the office in the school, which makes no sense at all. And during these interviews, these characters, actually all of the characters, would sit down and they would be like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I am a screw up. I mess up a lot. You know, I let my friends down, I let someone die, I made mistakes, you know, blah 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 blah. And every single interview was like this. Every single character just suddenly decided to spill their heart out and reveal the truth to strangers, just all of a sudden, for some reason. And then we have the ending of the episode where Tyler goes out to buy some guns, and Clay and Tony decided to stop Tyler and help him escape because Tony knows that the cops know, because Tony told the cops, and then Tony's like, oh, never mind, I'm gonna rescue Tyler anyway. And they just couldn't have handled the situation any worse. They just couldn't have handled the situation any worse. Episode 8 is called Acceptance/Rejection, and the first 4 minutes of the episode is Clay waking up in this future sci-fi world where he sees Bryce, and Bryce is a cyborg. I'm not kidding. I wish I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. It's real. Anyways, for the rest of the episode, turns out Tyler was secretly working for the cops, as if we don't know that. It played out as if it's a plot twist or something, even though it's actually really obvious. And because of all this paranoia surveillance thing, like kids are texting with codes and stuff, and the code word for, I don't know what is it, but they always say Gordon Lightfoot. What the fuck is a Gordon Lightfoot? And they didn't even answer who are they referring to, or is this supposed to mean anything? Like, what does this word mean? Anyways, the ending of the episode is just off the roof. It's actually absolutely insane. It's absolutely just shocking. Where Justin and Diego had a fight. A cop tried to intervene and stop them, and because, you know, cops are racist, so the cop tried to arrest Diego and let Justin go, and Justin's like, no. And then it got worse, and then all the students went out of their classroom and tried to stop that cop, and then the principal came out of nowhere and was like, okay guys, just calm down. And then all the students like, fuck it, let's leave. And then everyone just left. And then there were like 12 more cops that just came out of nowhere. And it's funny because the students left. And the principal's like, come on guys, get back to class. But they can't, because the cops are in between the students and the school itself. So what happened was, and it was hilarious. It was like it was like the friggin' battle of friggin' the bastards. It was like the battle of the bastards, 13 Reasons Why version, when all the cops are banging in their shields, like bung 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 bung, and then Jessica and Clay. Suddenly everybody thought Clay is normal again anyways, and then Jessica's like, okay, what should we do? We don't want to get shot. The cops have guns, right? And then Jessica's like, wait, we have something. Books! So the entire crowd, the whole school, they opened their school bags and they started just tossing books at the cops as if it's gonna save them or something. It's funny because I don't think this storyline is bad at all. Something similar happened to my school when I was studying in the last year, okay? Believe me. it was in the beginning of my last year in my school, in my secondary school, and back then, it was like a year ago. Back then, us students, we were actually literally standing up against police brutality. But what's being depicted here in 13 Reasons Why is so over the top, it's so cheesy, it's so unrealistic. It could have been good. It could have been a good storyline idea, but they just have to ruin it. And then there's one scene where Clay sets a car on fire and the car just fucking explodes and Clay just walks out of it like it's Walter White or something. What the heck was that? What the heck was that? And then at the end, turns out Clay didn't remember the car thing. Turns out he has a split personality, like it's Fight Club or something. For the rest of the entire season, there's no resolve in that. Like, there's no resolve of, okay, Clay finally being normal again. Like, there's no resolve. That's just a thing, and then that's it. Anyways, the last two episodes are episode 9. Episode 9, Prom, and episode 10, Graduation. And goddamn, talk about underwhelming. Because nothing happens in episode 9 other than prom. Like the episode title suggests. Prom. And it's really funny because in the beginning of the episode, it's like they're going to war. Like the students are like, okay, we're in a war, you know, the authorities, they wanna kill us, you know, they wanna stop us from having prom. So they were like, you know what, let's get the parents on our side. Why? Because we wanna go to prom, we wanna dance. And then for a majority of the episode, everyone's just dancing and everyone's acting really normal, really fine, everyone's having fun, everyone's just enjoying their lives. This episode is, for some reason, suddenly so upbeat and fun and enjoyable. It just makes no sense given how ridiculous the last episode was. And then the episode ended off with, spoiler alert, but Justin suddenly collapsed and passed out. And it just came out of nowhere. It just came out of nowhere. And then we have episode 10, Graduation. And this episode is 1 hour and 38 minutes long. 1 hour and 38 minutes of nothing. Every single scene is so boring. Nothing ever happens. The first half of the episode, the first 40 something minutes or so, is basically Justin in the hospital bed. Yes, it's sad. It sucks to see him have this ending, but I just wish that the writers would have had some sort of build up for Justin's character and have some sort of development for Justin's character, because all of this just feels so unearned. And then the second half of the episode are all pep talks. All of the scenes are just pep talks. Characters talking to one another, saying, "Oh, sorry, I've made mistakes in the past," and then the other character would say, actually, I'm sorry to you too. You saved my life. You know what? Let's love each other and enjoy the rest of our lives. Every single scene is like that. And it's so goddamn boring. It's so pointless. It's so meaningless. And it's so underwhelming. It's like nothing ever happened. Here's the thing. The writers are trying to redeem every single character in the show. And that's actually a good idea. Again, let me talk a little bit about my school life, because I just finished my secondary school. So what happened in my life is that all of the people around me, not really all, but all of the people around me are redeemed. Some of them are still bad, but they're all redeemed. They're all respectful, nice people at the end. It's very much real. But the way the writers take a crack at it in 13 Reasons Why is so unrealistic. There's no development or build-up or progression in any of the characters. Every single character just stay the same. And when they all suddenly get redeemed so suddenly, it's just unbelievable. Like, how did they get here? Why? Diego was just being a really mean bully a couple episodes ago, and now he's a nice person. What happened? So, yeah, this season has to be the worst season. Not a single episode in this season is enjoyable. The characters are bad. The script is terrible. Lots of cringy dialogues, and when you talk about the editing, the cinematography, they're all really bland, really basic. I guess the musical choices are good, but not really that good. I mean, they played all the way from Beach House to Perfume Genius to Arcade Fire in the last episode, but none of the songs are utilized well. They're just pop songs, and yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I'm saying 13 Reasons Why Season 4 is trash, and I'm giving it a strong 0 to a light 1 out of 10. You know what? Just strong 0. Fuck it. Just 0 out of 10. I was gonna say 1 because some of the episodes here are actually quite enjoyable because they're just so bad, but still, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's bad. So you know what? Just a 0. 0 out of 10. So, have you watched 13 Reasons Why Season 4? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching.